All right, one of the big upsets this week was obviously Cleveland over Green Bay. And now Cleveland dominated the front. They dominated the offensive line, of the Packers. And that was really the difference in this game. But I thought let's just go through this game and see, what the Browns did so well or where the Packers struggled. I really want to get into that last, interception that Jordan Love threw as well. You see decisions like that, and you see situations like that. It's always nice to know what happened. So let's dive into this tape right here. So really, really like this play call right here. So it's something that I call spout. Okay, so it's basically spacing with an out. Okay, so it's going to be here, and it's going to be here, and then you're going to have an out on the outside. Usually read this outside in because you can't be late on the quick out. So right here, good job, like it. Come out, you got a soft corner, go and take your out. But again, to me, I'm all about details. So I want you to watch these two guys right here. Details. We got to clean this up. Like, look at that. Look how close these two guys are to each other. They could both be covered by one guy when you're that tight. Okay, so got to clean up the details in everything. We want to get spacing. I want more width here. Okay, so replace. Get in the wake of this guy. Because the idea on this play is, again, we got corner off over here. So I'm reading the outside linebacker. Because really, if the corner's off, the only guy that can take it away is that outside linebacker. So he goes buzzing hard out here to take away the out. Now I want width by the next guy. So then we work to the next linebacker. Okay, so if I've got width, that next linebacker, if he's going to cover me, so if I've got width here and this guy wants to cover me, he's got to move hard and get all the way out here with width, and then boom, we're replacing right back to the inside. So spacing, they call it spacing because we want space in between all these guys and we want to attack all of these different zones. So I'd love to see Tucker Kraft out here a little bit more, about 2 yards from the numbers. I'd love to see, not sure who that is there, is that Wicks? Inside, kind of replacing over the front side guard kind of area. So we create more spacing and make it harder on these two guys to have to cover those three receivers. Never want one to be able to cover two. Okay, so we're going to run a little stick concept. Okay, so this is a popular concept in their offense. So it's here, and it's a stick of some sort, and then they run an in, and then they've got guys working back there. So it's kind of like a pure progression, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work our way back to the other side. Okay, so here you go. Okay, and one thing I want you to watch with Jordan Love, because this is one of the things that I believe he needs to clean up. Now, they lose up front right now, and look at how quick that pressure is. Holy cow. I mean, it's really quick. But on quick throws, we can't take too much of a drop here. 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe you say that's 2 steps, but it's too long. Boom, that ball's got to be out right now. If you're going to throw that, it's got to be out right now. And I think he has a tendency to drop on quick throws when he really needs to catch and set. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, here's another detail. If you're a coach watching, okay, here's another detail that I think is really, really important. Okay, if we're going to run this stick concept, the whole idea is we've got to isolate 2 receivers on 1 defender. That's what this is all about. Just about every coverage, you're going to have 2 underneath defenders to that side. So the whole goal with this concept is to use the spacing correctly so we don't let that second guy get involved. Okay, so just watch as we play this out right here. You see how it works. We pass this guy off here, and then this guy, because we're going straight vertical, is in a position to squeeze that and make it really, really tough on our quarterback. So Kurt, how do you keep this isolated on one guy? Well, what you do is you take this guy right here and you expand him just a little bit. So again, you got to have certain spacing. What's your spacing when you're into the short side like this? To me, you definitely don't want to be any further inside than the top of the numbers. Okay, so the top of the 30, I don't want to be any more inside than that. So I want to expand this outside. When I expand this outside, it does a couple things. First, it attacks the corner. So I want to keep him soft. And so I'm attacking him because once I start attacking him, now he's threatened because he's got to cover the deep third there. So I threaten him. The other thing when I widen here is I create an extra yard or two of distance from that guy. Now, a lot of people go, oh my gosh, why would I want to run out here? Because now, this guy is covering that area too. But that guy has to cover all the way to the sideline. Okay, he's got to cover all the way to the sideline on this particular play. So, yes, for a second, he may be able to cover this hook route that we have right here. But eventually, he's going to have to pass us if he's going to cover the flat. And once he does that, we're going to put it right off of his ear, and we're going to hit our guy on the hook route. By simply going straight up, and not even straight up, because you see, he has to avoid, because that's the other thing. If he goes out here with width, and this guy's tucked inside of him, we might create a natural rub right off the bat. Okay, so I'm going, he's trying to run through me, boom, we create a natural rub for the flat, and we are golden. That guy, we don't get the rub, and that guy runs fast through us. Great. Now we're ready to turn around right here. We've created 2 extra yards here, and you tell me, on this play, if we've created 2 extra yards, so if Dobbs is right here, and the defender's right there, can Jordan Love throw that? Yes, I believe Jordan Love can throw that. So all about spacing and details. And again, don't get me wrong, most teams do it like this. And most teams, this guy holds it all and it looks really, really good, but it's understanding the little details that can help. Expand. Gain yourself 2 more yards because there's plenty of space from the inside of the numbers all the way to the sideline that this guy can't cover both of those, especially when the flat is starting right on the heels of this stick route or pop route. That guy's got to go. If he doesn't go right now, we've got leverage and we can throw the flat all day long and we can win. So we're forcing it by spacing, by timing of the release, and then we just need our width right there. Hold your width. Don't let him force you back inside. Allow them to squeeze it. Because even here, we lose up front. If we do this right, I believe Jordan Love gets this ball out of his hands and we get a completion here instead of a sack. You guys hear me harp on it all the time. Details. Details, details, details. Why would I ever want to go inside? Because I know the biggest problem on that play is the linebacker inside. So I am going to stretch to the outside and try to force that outside linebacker to have to cover both of those guys. That's the whole goal. Okay? Here, never a fan of this particular play. Okay, so basically it's 4 slant. So it's double slant both ways. Okay, Kurt, why are you not a fan of this play? And it's not because I don't like slants. I like the double slant combination. The problem is this guy right here. So because the spacing in the NFL and the hashes are so tight that the back's got to go one way or another. So if you're simply just running all slants, the back has to go to one side. And what does that do? That automatically brings an extra body to that side. So that side is pretty much dead unless you get man-to-man coverage or you get some kind of pressure over there where you can truly get 2-on-2. So that side is dead because the back goes to that side, and you see what I'm talking about. What we really want on double slants is we want to be able to isolate one backer, okay? So we want one inside backer, on that side if we're going to read it. So Jordan Love should see this right now and see that we've got 2 to that side with double slant. And again, the back, no matter what he does, he's bringing a guy to the party. He's bringing somebody to one of these slants because he can't get outside far enough to clear one of those guys out with this timing. So to me, he just mushes up everything up. Like we get all kinds of bodies in there and we're bringing extra guys to the party to that side and we're making it really hard. But knowing that, Jordan Love should be reading away from this Mike linebacker every time. He should be reading off of this defender and throwing the double slants over here. So instead, he goes to the right side right there. And again, you'll see, right? There's no chance. This guy passes this one off to that backer. He's going to sit there and wait for that. And the back is still in a position that even if you're trying to get him the ball right there, those guys can come off and cover it. So he should be going to this side and throwing it right here. Now, Cleveland does a good job that this corner on the outside understands the concept. He jumps way inside of the outside slant. So they're actually in a great position to cover this. If this guy sits inside like he actually should on this coverage, and then this guy jumps inside, they could be dead over here as well. But the bottom line is you can't go to this guy. You can't go to where there's two underneath guys because we've got two underneath guys coming to them and are in a position to cover it. So what would you do different, Kurt? Well, a couple things that I would do different. If you want to keep with double slants, then you put this back on the flat and release him to the flat right now so he gets out of the way of those double slants and he forces somebody to have to cover him to the sideline. The other thing that you can do is, and what I like to do is go slant flat there and then put the back to that side, because that's a play that we want when there is two underneath guys to that side. So that would mean the corner was off. And now we can read the outside linebacker to the inside backer, and we've got 3-on-2 to that side. So we could go combo with a double slant on the backside, or we could go all slants with a flat or a swing here to try to pull one of those outside or those underneath defenders to the flat. But doing this with all slants and putting the back right here does nothing for us but bring an extra guy to the top. And Jordan's trying to look over there. And you see, this is exactly what they want you to do. They want you to throw it over there because they can pick this off because they've got the numbers. Jordan able to pull it down and try to get the check down. But you just see, not a good, to me, concept at all unless you're getting man-to-man coverage. But again, if I do this, good against man-to-man coverage as well. And then I have this against man-to-man coverage. So now I'm answering questions with everything if I do that, and I'm allowing the back to be a benefit to me instead of going to one of the same zones that those slants are going to. So that's how I would rectify that particular play. Okay, here we go again. So again, nice job. Run that spout concept again. But this was one of the things, one thing that bothered me is that I saw it on the first one, and you're going to see the spacing on this play exactly the same as the last one. Look how tight they are to each other. Okay, and so again, one guy can really cover both of these guys because of our spacing. Now we get it to the outside guy again and again. Watch the drop of Jordan. He's taken basically a full 3-step drop on a quick out. Look how late he is to this throw. His receiver's already 2 or 3 steps out of it when the ball comes out. These quick throws, got to get back and get set and get the ball out quicker than he is. And then spacing, cleaning up the details and how those details are going to help him. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, so it's a quick out. All right, so we got to get back. Get set. Get set. You see you got what you want. You know this guy's going to run the quick out here. First down's up here. This guy's in trail technique. Key is get it on him as fast as possible so he can catch it and turn up the field because he's not going to get the first down just on the catch. So again, watch the drop. 1, 2, 3, a big hop back. And what happens? We're late because look at all the steps that the receiver takes before the ball is on him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it gives that guy all the time in there. I mean, like, this has got to be a completion. We got to get this ball out quick and put it on this guy. And again, with this much space, we put it on him and give him a good ball. There's a great chance for him to turn the corner. A little late on the throw once again. And you see they were setting up a screen over to this side. So he comes out, and I do like this on screens. I like to set up some kind of quick throw to one side. If you come out, if you like it, if you get pressure to that side, if you got a good look, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and get the completion. If you don't, drop it back here to the screen on the back side. Screen looked like it was set up. These are always one of those, after the fact things. Oh man, screen might have been set up. We got 2-on-2, might have been a touchdown, but this is open. That's as open as you get in the NFL. Gotta be quicker with our footwork to get the ball out and make that throw. And it's a natural thing. Again, it's not just Jordan Love. I see it all over the NFL. The natural thing when you're in shotgun is to catch the snap and fall backwards, right? Our weight's going backwards. We're going to catch. We're always going to go backwards when we catch it, and we're going to read things out. But when we do that, we have to take extra steps. You got to be conscious of, hey, knowing I'm on a quick type drop, I want to attack the football and try to catch and get my feet set in the same position as quick as possible so I can anticipate and get that ball out before my receivers break it. Okay? So another thing that, the Packers will do, and again, I don't understand fully, the whole thought process. It looks like they're running like a comeback here and then a big in, and then we've got some check downs here. So I'm not really sure how these routes connect. Because to me, it's always so important to make sure that we've got guys, right, that I want to make sure that if I'm running this in route, and again, I don't know where they hit this in route. Maybe they're hitting this in route on the backside hash. And so with the backside hash, we've got a tight end over there. So maybe that's the high-low that we're trying to get, because I always want to put a defender in conflict. If I'm running something over the top, I want to put something underneath him in that same zone so I can throw it. So he's looking over here at the comeback. Comeback is dead because they basically have a cover 2 type look here. So again, to me, it's more about where do we throw this? And again, if we're throwing it here on the backside hash, not a big fan, because you see our checkdowns are not in that same zone, so we can high-low right here. If we're throwing this on the backside hash, okay, I can get that. We get this guy to widen, and now we get this guy in a high-low position on the backside hash. Okay, there, the guy drops back. We dump it to our tight end. Okay, I can live with that. It just, very seldom do you run this guy on a big end back here and expect to wait and hit it to this backside hash, but he's in a tighter alignment, so maybe that is the goal. I would just like to see on some of these concepts, them really connect the overthrows with the underthrows, making it easier on the quarterback to get definitive reads. Okay, really like this one. See Jordan come up, got man-to-man coverage. He's going to check here, and I always like it when, hey, I got man-to-man. I like my matchup back here. I'm going to make this game easier, and I'm just going to come back, and I am going to put it on that guy. Boom, on the stop route. Good timing right there. And again, just watch his drop, okay? What I like about this is look at the sense of urgency at the top. Boom, to get set and throw it. He can help himself by not taking as much of a drop, because you can see right here. See all the weight of Jordan Love right here? You see how he's leaning back? And again, it's a natural thing when we're in shotgun. The first thing we're going to do, the ball's coming back to us, we're going to lean back, which is going to force us to have to take 2 to 3 steps to stop ourselves anyways. But there's a little more sense of urgency as he goes back, set real quick, and get it out. So I like the timing of this one better, but just something that I think he's got to get better at on these quick throws. Get set early. I always say win with your feet. That means be set with your feet before you have to throw it, so you don't have to rush it. Now he gets this out. I like the timing of this, but you see it's because of that speed right there at the end where he's got to stick it in the ground. I'd like to see him not have to move quite that fast. Quick little set, be ready, hold on that back foot, and get it out on time. All right. Now, again, they've been getting dominated up front all game. Okay, so I get this one. Like this concept right here. So we're going to run this guy here on a post. We're going to run this guy on a shoot down the sideline, and then we're going to sneak this player right here down the seam. And that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get this guy to cover here, trying to get this guy to cover there. You're trying to get the seam. If they carry the seam, then you've got your back to replace it right here. So we come out, and we're going to end up seeing this guy. Okay, so right there, what I love is this guy overlaps, and he's taking the wide receiver right here. Okay, so once he does that, right? Now the read actually becomes out here to swing. What does this guy want to do? Once that corner disappears and chases the post on the inside, which definitely can happen as we run it back, right? He's going to take the outside guy. Okay, he's going to take the outside guy. So he chases him all the way. He's the deep responsibility outside the number. So once I see that, boom, I am going right here off of this next guy. Does this guy want to run with it or not? Okay, and so now we come back, and you could say right here, he does. I'm with Jordan from the standpoint that he does turn his hips right here. He slow plays it a little bit. So I do think he's got a shot at this one right here because this guy's trying to eye Jordan and he wants to come off on the quick throw. I'd love to see Jordan hang just a little tick right there. Right here, once we get to even, man, Tucker Kraft is going to run by him. But I see it. I understand it. I can't hold it forever. They've been beating us up front. This guy's turning and getting depth. I can live with that. Get it out to your back. Kick it out there. Like the concept. Like the decision. Boom. But you see, that's the guy. The outside guy is the one that is able to come up and actually make the hit on Josh Jacobs right there. So we're just trying to isolate him, but turn of the hips, crossover. To me, it's just a body language thing. Do you feel your guy is going faster than their guy and he's going to run by him? If so, take your shot down the field. If not, do exactly what Jordan Love is doing. Okay, so again, these are the ones that, to me, and a lot of this, I think, comes into these pure progression type plays. Okay, so this is the concept that they're running right here. All right, so again, like to me, all of these things go to different zones, right? So I'm attacking a zone over here, and then I'm attacking a zone here, and this guy just running a go on his own, and then I'm going to bring the back out here. But we don't have anybody, or two guys, I should say, that are attacking the same zone. So we allow the defense to be in a great position. Okay, so again, this guy right here, it's one-on-one. Yeah, I think he could take that if he wanted it. Again, get back, put your foot in the ground, let that thing go if you want. But when you go to the next guy, see, we got nobody underneath to affect these linebackers here. So we're going to the next guy, but we're leaving two defenders there to take him. Okay, this guy's running a go route to take away the deep guy, but then we're running back here, and again, we're not doing anything to influence, those underneath guys and say, well, if you go cover what's underneath, we'll throw it over the top of you. And so here, it's just like a bunch of guys. Again, you see, he's X'd out by this guy, he's X'd out by this guy, or possibly this guy. He's X'd out here. Now we've got two bodies here, for this that's coming. So Cleveland holds the advantage really in every situation because we're running guys to a bunch of different zones instead of being able to overload somewhere. Okay, so Kurt, what exactly does that mean? How does that work? Okay, so let me just give you an example of, like, let's say we're running this play right here. Okay, so we've got a solo over here. I like it. If you like it, you like the look, one-on-one, take it. On this side, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run this guy down to the middle of the field, and I'm going to hook him. I'm going to run this guy. I'm going to widen him like I'm running a go, and I'm going to run him on a deep curl. And then I'll go ahead and bring, this is what I call a sled concept, a swing with a lead, a sled concept over here. Okay, so why are you going to do that, Kurt? Well, because here's what's going to happen. Okay, this guy's responsible for the deep area. Okay, so I'm going to come back here and I'm going to think to myself that, that I'm going to try to get that deep curl. Who's the guy that can take away the deep curl? Well, this guy has to be there to take away the deep curl. So I want to force him to get depth, or I'm going to throw that deep curl behind him. If he gets depth, here I go, and I've got a 2-on-1 on him. Okay, so I got a 2-on-1 on him. If he gets a little bit of depth, great. I've got a lead guy in here. Okay, so then if the next guy comes to the party and he goes, oh man, tight end and the back are going there, so let me move in that direction, I'm going to replace him with the next guy there. And so I'm going to somehow try to get this advantage over here against these two underneath guys. He wants to stay tucked in there and cover the hook that's in between the hashes. Great. Now, you tell me, let's do this. He does this. Now it's all about this guy. If he stays tucked in here because we're going to run at him and hook basically right in front of him to the inside, now it's all about that outside guy. We're going to have him outnumbered with the sled. We're going to have a lead blocker on the sled. But if he wants to come down and cover the sled, now we've got a shot over here to the curl, but we're attacking these underneath defenders with all of our guys so we get an advantage instead of saying, oh, we're going to free up the one backer because we're going to go there. Then we're going to free up both backers because we're going to go there and let the deep guy cover us. And now they've got two underneath guys that we freed up for our two guys that are covering or catching this sled right here. And there you see it. I mean, obviously it turns into three guys because this guy rallies to the party. But again, you see where the advantage is. Okay, so again, draw this up here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it basically takes two to cover this. And so that's what we're doing. Okay, we got two to cover this. Okay, a third to cover this, and a fourth to cover this. Okay, how many guys do they have underneath? Even bringing the backside guy to the party, they only have three. They only have three. So how do they want to cover it? Okay, so let's just look at this a different way. This guy hooks. Okay, this guy takes him away. Okay, no problem. What do I still have? I still have 3 on 2 to this side because I'm attacking those underneath zones with all of those guys so I can guarantee an advantage over here some way, shape, or form for my quarterback. Okay, like this concept. It's a concept I call otter. Kind of off of the other one. Okay, so we're going here and we're going to run it out in a corner. Okay, so that's what I call otter. Okay, and then they're going to bring this guy here and they're going to run him on a hook. Sometimes I like to let him run a choice or an option where he can hook there. If the guy overruns him, he has a chance to break it to the inside if he wants. But again, trying to overload these underneath guys with this particular throw. 1 to 2 to 3 right here. Like the concept, kind of comes off of that spout concept that we were already talking about. If the corner comes down and grabs this, we got a shot for this up over the top. They're playing man here. We get trail technique. Boom, easy pitch and catch out there. And then here's where I said I like the option. Stick this guy, and if he overruns it, a chance to break inside. I don't like him to break outside because we've got this out sitting there and now we condense everything. So you get width. Okay, go back. Okay, get width here. So it looks, right? If we were running that spout concept, this is what it would look like. Boom, just like that. So we're playing off of that, trying to make it look very similar. So we're going to get width here. Now, if that guy starts to push with width, boom, now I have a chance to break back and cross his face if he's playing man back to the inside. So really, really like this concept right here. And you see possibility, the out, let's say this is tight coverage. This guy's playing off. Now we're going to work this guy. If it's zone, he's going to get width and sit in the zone. If the guy pushes to match to him there, now he gets a chance to break inside and fill that void that's on the inside. Okay. Good job right here. I'm not really sure. This is a tough protection right here. We're going to pull our backside, our center and our guard from the backside. I mean, that's a really, really, I don't know if they're supposed to roll with this, man. This is a really tough block for this front side guard to get back to this guy that's in the one technique on the backside. We leave a huge gap right here. I mean, it's really tough for that guy. And now we get a slant to him and all this stuff. But, man, we leave a huge opening right here. But nice job by Jordan as they bring that interior pressure to be able to find and have a pressure answer. Boom, at least we get a completion right here. But I hate to think that we've got 6-man protection, and they're only bringing 6 guys, and we've got no chance to protect that with this kind of protection. Yeah, I don't know. If one of the guys is not supposed to pull, if we're expecting the mic to have to come to this side, so one of them picks up the mic, one picks up the defensive end. I'm not really sure, but it's a tough protection right here, but good job by Jordan Love to have a hot answer and at least get a positive play and a completion out of this. Okay, wanted to go back to this one. We've got double slants again. Love this stuff when guys have something happen in a game and maybe they're talking in pictures and maybe Coach LaFleur's talking to Jordan, hey, when you get this look next time, right, we got to go away from the mic. The mic's probably going to be to where the back is, so you got to be leery of that guy and make sure that you work opposite him. Okay, so here it is. Boom, mic goes that way. Great job. Split those 2 guys with the inside slant just like before. And again, thank goodness, because he should be playing inside. Don't know why he's not. Yet this guy is playing hard inside, so the outside slant would have been tough. But I like you learn through the course of a game. Hey, made a mistake the first time. Should have gone away from the Mike linebacker, away from the back. This time I do. Split those guys, get us set up inside the 5. Okay, goes up with the check right there. Man-to-man coverage. And just a tough one. Okay, so they're in a press coverage here. So he's checking to this play that has this inside fade, which is what we want against, we want press on that. We've got this kind of influence coming right here. They're going to outside release and then I guess maybe run away late. But we're really trying to get that slot inside fade against man. And that's what Jordan checked to. He comes back and sure enough, slot defender starts to get soft. This play is hard when he gets soft because you can't get on his toes. Got to run this quick inside fade, and that guy just falls out and covers it, and you really don't have much of anything right here. Love to see this guy, and again, he's playing, I'm sure, because if this guy's off, we want to go up and try to grab him. I'd love to see this guy stick it and come this direction, because if we're calling this against man, okay, love to be able to have a quick option here if something like this happens and they fall off in the slot, just to give us some sort of an answer and a quick answer, because right here we already know they got a free safety, so this one's dead. This guy got soft. This one's dead. This is really my only answer left, and now he's going outside of a man cover guy and hesitating while I'm back here holding the football. And again, now I got to get out and try to create. And this is the one everybody's like, throw it away. Like, what are we trying to do? There's nothing here, but he's just trying to make a play in a 3rd and long situation. Yeah, just not a good play. Good job there by the Browns to kind of change that up after the change of the call and cover it really well. This was the one big play. This is the only throw that Jordan Love completed, I believe, past 10 yards down the field. And so they caught him in just the right thing here where they're going to get a 2-on-1 on this side. We're going to get a safety, 2-on-1 on the safety on the outside. So they caught him in cover 2. Perfect. Gets through there quickly. Safety stays tucked inside. Good throw up over the top here. Now the biggest thing is, and you got to stay in bounds on this one. Got to. I mean, he catches the ball right there. And yeah, maybe it's over his outside shoulder, but we have got to stay in bounds right here. This, I mean, very easily could be a 95-yard touchdown right here. Good ball, outside number. Oh my gosh. We've got to set ourselves up for points somehow, some way on this particular play. And he just lets the momentum carry him outside. Carry him out of bounds. And we miss an opportunity for points right there. Even if it's a field goal there, could be the difference in the game. Okay, so here we go with the quick one again. So here's the combo that I was talking about. So he's got flat, slant over here to the bottom. We want that against a middle close defense. And, kind of like that hook flat that we talked about early on, is we want to isolate this defender right here. So if this defender works hard to the flat, we're going to hit it right off of his ear in that same hole, okay? Because we know, just like if it's hook flat or if it's slant flat, we know that that guy that I have a box around is the biggest problem on this play. So I have to beat him with the throw. I have to beat him with the spacing of the route. All of this is essential because I know that's the guy that can take it away. He takes the flat, he can take the slant. We've got nothing over there to that side. So we got to be able to stay wide and get this ball out on time. I get movement right there. Here's where the throw has to come out. And it looks like Jordan is ready. Got to let it go. And again, watch the drop. 1, 2. Look how long it takes him. I got to be set. I got to be ready. This ball's got to be coming out. I see the movement of this guy. Like I said, we used to always talk. It's got to come off the ear of this defender. I cannot wait any longer because this guy will get involved. I am back, holding on my back foot. I am ready to rip the slant. And then if this guy slows and holds off the slant, easy recovery to the flat right here. But you see the eyes and the feet to me are down the middle. Actually even looks to the left-hand side. It looks like first. Now by the time he comes back, he's late. This ball's got to be out because now if I'm throwing it, now that Mike Backer's stealing that thing and we got a problem. So again, missed opportunity right there. Try to kick it out here to our sled, which actually probably would have worked out. We got a lead blocker in front of him. Just missed the throw. So not a lot of opportunities in this game, but there are some opportunities based on certain details that I think the Packers could have had and could have been the difference in the game. Okay, so here's another one. I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to come out and we're going to run this out again, and then we're going to run something right here. This guy's running a go route. This guy's checking and running this and this. So again, we got a bunch of guys running to different zones. And so this is what's, again, makes things hard on a quarterback. Okay, so we run this. Okay, they're an off corner look. Okay, so if that's the case, this guy has the ability, okay, in his responsibility to push hard out underneath this and take it away. So the next guy here has the ability to take the next one. Okay, so now, one thing I do like, and I think this guy's doing it, is he's sticking here and then he's rolling to the outside. So if that's the case, I like this a little bit better. So we say to ourselves, if this guy is running out under this, I know this guy's the biggest problem, so I'm going to stick my foot in the ground and I'm going to bounce away from him. So I put all the pressure on this guy. Who do you want to take? You want to take this, or do you want to take the pivot right here? So if that's what they're doing, I like that idea much better because everything is about, if this is my first guy, who can take him away? Oh, this guy can take him away? Let's replace that guy. So whether it's getting width right here and sitting in his spot, getting away from this guy, we're pivoting if we're doing that, hitting it and bouncing back outside. Now we're putting 2-on-1 and giving ourselves an advantage. Okay, back here we've just got a go route. So we know a deep player is going to take away the go route. And then everything else is shallow here. And so, again, we're not necessarily overloading it. I like to put something like a big in back to this side. Okay, so now we get this shallow coming here. Now we've got a high-low to this side. We've got something that we could put pressure on the defense with that. Now maybe we're saying they're playing a quarter shell, okay, playing a quarter shell. So if that's the case, we actually can isolate this guy. I want my back to get way out here by the sideline on a shallow. I want this guy to come and read it and sit inside the numbers. So now maybe we can stretch this backside guy with those two guys. So that to me is how I look at football, is I'm trying to figure out in the different coverages who can take away what. And I'm trying to isolate or put pressure, put one defender in a conflict where he can't cover both of those guys. But spacing becomes so important, right? I don't want this to be a case where he stays tight and this guy's coming to him and this guy has the ability to take away the shallow and come up and take away the swing. Okay, back, boom, get out here wide. Get this guy going out here so he's got to move to the numbers. Now we can replace underneath him and we've got a shot here. Or if he doesn't push to the numbers and he stays tucked in here, now we've got leverage in the sideline to force him to have to move to us to cover us. Slower we are just getting outside the numbers, right? There's the guy. He's right there ready to come up and make a play. And even if we came off and threw to the shallow, he'd be in a position to do that as well. So those little details of creating spacing are so crucial to put pressure on the defense. Okay? Here's that critical play. All right, so we've got this same little locked hitch, quick stop back here that he hit earlier. Okay, so he's got that available to him. He hit it once, he liked it. Okay, on the other side, we're running triple slant. Okay, so it's triple slant right here. All right, so what we have to see, and here's what I believe Jordan thought on this particular play. I think he thought that I have man-to-man coverage across the board. Okay, so it's man-to-man coverage across the board. And this guy becomes what we call a cop player. Okay, so he's a free player. He's kind of reading the eyes of Jordan Love and becomes an extra player, in the middle of the field. When you have that, what you're going to see with this player right here is a really smart play is that this guy now knows if I'm in man coverage, I've got help to the inside. So I can play outside leverage or I can let my guy release to the inside. So what a lot of teams will do, if this guy releases inside, this defender will pass him off. And now that cop player will take him. And now this circle defender becomes the cop player now. He becomes the free hitter right there. So as a quarterback, we have to know that they basically have an extra guy to the inside. Okay? We want 3-on-3 over there and really not even 3-on-3. We're expecting our outside guy to win. So we really want 3-on-2 in the underneath zones. As soon as they bring that extra guy that can be a factor here, that's a really tough concept to throw to the front side. This is our throw again on this particular play because of that. And I just want you to keep your eyes on this defender right here. Okay, so look what he does. Okay, he takes a little hop inside, and I think that's what Jordan sees. That little hop right there, oh shoot, I'm going to have this quick slant right here. But after that hop, he realizes, I don't have to do that anymore. I can pass him off. I don't have to chase a man. I've got help in there. I'm going to bounce back to the outside. Boom. And I'm going to steal this one right here. And I think Jordan saw it right there. He's like, oh man, I know it. And, so this ball is almost to the ground. It's almost like he's trying to throw it away at the last second. But have to see the structure right here that, again, we're expecting the outside guy to beat his guy. Okay? We got to count on that. And so what we're looking for here is 1, 2 underneath defenders, because then we've got 1, 2, and then the outside guy is our 3. So we got 3 against 2 to that side. When we automatically have a problem is when they have 1, 2, 3 underneath defenders. Even though we think it's man, this extra guy here has to alert us to, we got to beware now. We got to beware that if he's sitting in there, he can take the inside guy away. So as a quarterback, I've really got to be conscious of this guy because I know that guy's probably going to be dead right there. There's no chance for me to throw it quick anyways because he's my first read. I got to see that guy. What does that guy do? I've got to make sure that he chases inside and then I'm ready to throw my slant off of it. This hop just isn't enough. It's a quick play. I get it. It's a hard play right here because I got to get back. I got to read that guy for a second. Then I got to get set to throw the slant. Great job there by the defense and understanding what's going on. This guy understands I can play outside leverage and I can fall off if my guy goes inside because I've got help to the inside. This is where the throw, because those extra bodies are inside. We got to go outside. We got to count on our outside guy to win that one-on-one battle again. And not sure that he does, but that's where that throw has to go in that particular situation because they've got the numbers there. And that was the big one that hurt us. Okay, but then they drive down. And I just want to show this one because I think Coach LaFleur does a great job with his play action. And one of the hardest things to do is when a tight end comes off and blocks. Okay, when you're in man-to-man coverage or whatever, you see a tight end block, your responsibility has to be to fill your gap in case they're going to run. So it's a great job right here. Tucker Kraft comes off and he blocks. So he blocks. These guys fire. It's a kind of a run situation anyways. So they expect run there. Everybody fires. My guy is blocking. And then boom, he just slides right off of this. Again, you see this guy right here. He's covering Tucker Kraft man-to-man. So I just want you to watch him. Okay? It's a run. It's a run. It's a run. Oh, shoot. There goes my guy. There goes my guy. And again, this is hard on a defense. Right? They have to read their keys. He can't just sit there and cover Tucker Kraft. So, if he's playing man-to-man on Tucker Kraft and he sees him block and they run Josh Jacobs right here and he's hesitating because he's got man-to-man. Now Josh Jacobs is hitting the hole and he's going downhill and they get an advantage. So when he sees his guy block, he triggers into that gap, which is his responsibility. And then, boom, off of that, Tucker comes out. Easy pitch and catch. Really sets him up for what could be or should be the game winner. Obviously, it gets blocked and everything changes, but I love what Coach LaFleur does with his naked bootlegs and setting these things up and the way they block release their guys. Really good play call here, as I said, to set them up for an opportunity to win the game. But you see it. Give all the credit in the world to Cleveland Browns. But to me, some things that the Packers can clean up moving forward, some details, whether it's Jordan Love or in the passing game, that I think can make it more definitive and help them to be even better moving forward.